The Sahara Desert is the largest hot desert on Earth. It covers over 9 million square kilometers across North Africa, an area roughly the size of the United States. To most people, it looks like the most lifeless place on the planet. An ocean of sand, nothing but dunes, heat, and silence. But scientists now know something that changes everything. The Sahara was not always a desert. Between 11,000 and 5,000 years ago, the Sahara was green. Rivers flowed across it, lakes covered its surface, forests and grasslands stretched from horizon to horizon. Hippos swam where sand dunes now stand. Crocodiles lived where there is no water. Humans built settlements, raised cattle, painted art on rock walls, and constructed stone monuments that aligned with the stars. An entire civilization thrived across what is now the most barren landscape on Earth. And then, slowly, the rain stopped. The rivers dried up, the lakes evaporated, the forests turned to dust, and the sand buried everything. Cities, roads, temples, entire kingdoms, all swallowed by the desert over thousands of years. The question archaeologists are now asking is simple and staggering. What is still down there? And thanks to a technology that can see through sand the way X-rays see through skin, we are finally getting answers. The technology is called synthetic aperture radar, or SAR. It works by bouncing radar waves off the ground from satellites or aircraft. These radar waves can penetrate meters of dry sand and detect solid structures underneath, walls, foundations, roads, and buildings that are invisible to the naked eye and to conventional photography. When combined with artificial intelligence and machine learning, SAR can scan thousands of square kilometers in hours, identifying patterns that suggest buried human settlements. And what it has found beneath the Sahara is rewriting history. In southwestern Libya, satellite photographs revealed more than 100 fortress settlements belonging to a lost civilization called the Garamantes. These were not simple villages. They were fortified towns with walls, towers, and organized urban layouts, built between the 2nd century BC and the 7th century AD. The Garamantes controlled a vast territory across the central Sahara. They built underground irrigation tunnels called fagaras, an engineering marvel that allowed them to farm in the middle of a desert. They traded with the Roman Empire. They had their own written language. And yet, for centuries, they were almost completely forgotten, buried beneath the sand until satellites found them. In the Arabian Desert, researchers from Khalifa University in Abu Dhabi used SAR technology to discover Saruk al-Hadid, a site believed to be part of a 5,000-year-old civilization. Buried just 3 meters below the sand, they found pottery, metal structures, animal bones, and artifacts that suggest a thriving community existed there thousands of years before recorded history. In Sudan, scientist Iman Ghonim used radar imaging to discover a mega lake, a body of water covering over 30,000 square kilometers, buried beneath the sand of northern Darfur. A lake larger than some countries, completely invisible to the eye, hidden under the desert for thousands of years. And in 2024, the same researcher discovered something even more remarkable, a lost branch of the Nile River, which she named the Ahrimat branch, meaning pyramids in Arabic. This ancient waterway ran close to the largest concentration of pyramids in Egypt. Her findings suggest that this branch was large enough to transport workers and building materials to the pyramid construction sites. The river that helped build the pyramids was lost beneath the desert for millennia. If you are finding this fascinating, take a second to subscribe to the Odd Vault and hit the bell. We open a new vault every week, and trust me, you do not want to miss what comes next. But the Sahara is not the only desert hiding secrets. In southern Egypt, at a place called Nabta Playa, archaeologists found a circle of standing stones, megaliths arranged to align with the summer solstice. It is the oldest astronomical observatory ever discovered, dating back over 7,000 years. Some researchers call it Africa's Stonehenge, except it is 1,000 years older than Stonehenge itself. The people who built it tracked the movement of the stars across the sky, used the solstice to predict monsoon rains, and left behind evidence of a sophisticated understanding of astronomy that rivals anything found in ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia. And they did it in the middle of what is now a desert. And then there are the legends. Medieval Arabic texts describe a place called Zerzura, the city of the White Queen. A lost oasis city said to lie somewhere deep in the Libyan desert, filled with treasure, surrounded by white walls, and guarded by sleeping giants. For centuries, explorers searched for Zerzura. Some claimed to have seen it from a distance, a shimmering white city on the horizon. Others spent years combing the desert and found nothing. To this day, Zerzura has never been conclusively found. But with SAR technology now able to see beneath the sand, some researchers believe it may only be a matter of time. Perhaps the most extraordinary discovery is not in the desert at all, but beneath it. In 2025, a team of researchers using a combination of radar interferometry, Doppler vibration analysis, and seismic tomography announced that they had mapped an extensive network of underground structures beneath the Giza Plateau in Egypt. Their data suggests a massive complex of geometrically organized chambers, tunnels, and voids stretching deep below the pyramids. The implications, if confirmed, would be staggering, suggesting that the pyramids were part of a much larger underground infrastructure that we have only begun to detect. The technology to find what the Sahara is hiding already exists. SAR satellites scan the desert from orbit. AI algorithms identify anomalies buried meters below the surface. Ground-penetrating radar confirms what the satellites detect. Every year, the tools become sharper, cheaper, and more accessible. And every year, new discoveries emerge from beneath the sand. The Sahara is not a wasteland. It is a vault, the largest archaeological vault on Earth. For thousands of years, it has been swallowing civilizations whole, kingdoms, rivers, lakes, cities, monuments, and preserving them beneath a blanket of sand, waiting for someone to dig deep enough to find them. We are only now developing the tools to open this vault. And what we have found so far, lost kingdoms, buried rivers, forgotten observatories, cities that vanished 5 millennia ago, represents a fraction of what is still down there. The Green Sahara was home to millions of people for thousands of years. They built, they farmed, they worshipped, they mapped the stars, and then the desert came and erased everything. But erased is not the same as destroyed. It is still there, all of it, beneath the sand, waiting. This has been the Odd Vault. If this unlocked something in your mind, subscribe, because we open a new vault every week. What they didn't tell you, we will.